Good evening, and welcome back to another edition of the Shadow Gallery. Again, I'll be your host, James Donnelly, and I'll try not to irritate too many of you people with my croaking voice. Yeah. See, when I did this for my review of DC Universe Online, that I think has probably been my most viewed vlog to date. And it's gotten more attention than any of my other videos have gotten. And, you know, it's amazing what shit people will say to one another over the safety of the internet. But that's okay, because you know what? I do this for me and the few of you out there who enjoy it and who subscribe to my videos, and thank you, I think, to all two of you. But we're not going to get too much into that today, although in all fairness, I have gotten to a point where I've actually created a second character for DCU Online. And that game is still really fun. It's still really fun, although I keep getting booted off the goddamn server, which is frustrating to no end. But, and especially when I was in the middle of a boss fight last night. So anyway, we're going to skip that for right now. Consider that my little addendum to my DCU Online review. Because the game just keeps getting cooler, cooler villains to fight, cooler missions to play on. I have to actually get out there and make a villain, though, because I definitely want to experience from that side. Anyway, okay, so on to today's big casting blast, the boom, the shot heard around the geek world today, and that was. Now, okay, The Dark Knight Rises, okay? Now, we knew that was going to be the title a couple months ago. We knew that Tom Hardy was going to be in it a couple months ago, but there have been a lot of names bandied around as to who was going to be. They were apparently, according to online descriptions, so obviously just take a whole fucking salt lick with that piece of news. And there are two female there are two female characters that are going to appear prominently in the film, and there of course was, I don't know how many dozens of people, dozens, hundreds, thousands, I'm sure, speculating on who it was going to be. Now, my own speculation was that it was going to be maybe a character like Julie Madison, someone from maybe Bruce's past, an ex-girlfriend or something like that, maybe from his college days, and either Selena Kyle or Talia al Ghul, because that would have, I think the Talia thing would be, perhaps more realistic in the sense that it was, Batman did kind of, well, he did not kill him, but he did not have to save Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. So it'd be understandable that she might be kind of pissed off at him. But, well, who knows? That could still happen. But it's doubtful. It's doubtful that they would throw another monkey into this wrench, because they've officially revealed, at least, I'm sure, what I'm honestly thinking is going to be one villain and the female lead, because Tom Hardy, who most of you know from, I think everybody knows from Inception, and I keep wanting to punch myself in the face because I never remember his character's name, but he was other than Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he was my favorite he was my favorite performer in the film. But he will be playing Bane, So that was a huge deal. That was more unexpected, I think, than any other piece of news that came out today. That Tom Hardy that not only will Bane be appearing in the film, but he will be played by Tom Hardy. Now, for those of you, and he has the perfect look for Bane. He's got to put on, I think, a couple dozen pounds of muscle, really, before he can really get into it. But I mean, just the look, just that kind of streamlined face. I mean, just visually, he looks like Bane. So I mean, they've got that part dead on. And he's, from what I've seen him in, he seems to be a very fine actor. He seems to be very smart, and he seems to be incredibly capable. So, I have no problem with that. But here's the problem: is Bane as a character. He was created essentially to be the Bane of Batman's existence. Now, in the 90s, you remember DC was going through a lot of weird shit was going on there. They created, they engineered the death of Superman. If you didn't read the comics themselves, you at least read an article about it, I'm sure, if you were alive during the 90s. And they also did the same thing to Batman, essentially, or to Bruce Wayne, was that they created a villain to come out of nowhere and basically destroy Bruce Wayne. Not destroy him as in kill him, as they did with Doomsday and Superman, but to actually, defeat Batman. And that's Bane. Never existed. He comes into town, breaks everybody out of Blackgate Prison and Arkham Asylum. Batman's got to run around town, catching them all. He's so tired and just totally frazzled and exhausted and injured, so that when and this is the part that I can't understand about Nightfall, is that, I mean, this is one of the reasons I hate Nightfall, but I had to read it, is because there's no honor in fighting and breaking someone when they're at their lowest physical point. There's no honor in that. And that's kind of what I felt Bane was supposed to be about. So anyway, so he broke his back. Of course, Bruce Wayne healed, became Batman again, took up the mantle. Good and done. But the second big news is that Anne Hathaway of from everything ranging from Princess Diaries to Brokeback Mountain, is going to be playing Selina Kyle. Now, am I comfortable with that choice? Yes. I can work with that. I can live with that, because I trust Christopher Nolan. I trust his judgment. I trust what he has in store for us. I think it'll be a big surprise the way that he works these characters in. And I trust his casting instincts for the most part. I think, Katie Holmes honestly was, she was on a WB show. It was a Warner Brothers film. I'm sure the producers said, okay, well, let's get, a young, one of our young stars to get in the film. I don't really think that Christopher Nolan was in favor of casting her. I think he would have gone with somebody who had a little bit more indie sensibility. But, she was in Go, so whatever. Anyway. So the real source of speculation, though, is that, and I think this can create some confusion potentially, is that she has been confirmed as playing Selina Kyle, not Catwoman. Okay, Selina Kyle is Catwoman, but didn't say that she was going to be playing Catwoman, just said she was going to be playing Selina Kyle. Now, as has been said on Facebook and Twitter and all around the blogospheres today, in Nolan we trust, and in Nolan we must, because everybody said Heath Ledger, oh man, he's gonna suck as Joker, and he fucking won an Academy Award for his work, and he ruled the movie. So that's it, done, end of story. Good night.